Rusda2 asks, why do you think the Pope got the title Pontifex Maximus? Because he's pagan, it's paganism. No, Tertullian. Okay, you have Irenaeus of Lyon, who tells the Pope, you have no business telling me, commanding me to do stuff. I'm a bishop up in Gaul. You only have authority of Rome. You're the Bishop of Rome. Then you have Tertullian, who mocks the Bishop of Rome and calls him Bishop of Bishops and Pontifex Maximus, two titles that were held by the Caesar, the pagan Caesar at the time, because the Caesar became the chief priest of all the cults, and that was the title of the chief priest of all of the legal cults, which was Pontifex Maximus and Bishop of Bishops. And then later on you have Cyprian of Carthage arguing with Stephen the Greek, who is the Bishop of Rome. I wind up agreeing with Stephen the Greek, although Cyprian is correct. Cyprian of Carthage is correct in saying to Stephen, buzz off. You have no authority over Carthage. I'm the Bishop of Carthage, you're the Bishop of Rome. Don't interfere. And it was during the Middle Ages when these people were trying to justify that the Bishop of Rome, the Pope of Rome, and adopt the title. The first patriarch to be called Pope was in Alexandria, and still they call it Pope. It's just another word for patriarch. They skim through Tertullian, even though Tertullian's mocking the Bishop of Rome, they apply these titles to try to use against the East. There was many attempts to reunite the East with the West, and the East, even when the bishops accepted reunion, the people rose up, like after the Council of Florence, and hanged their bishops, or gutted them in the streets because they accepted heresy, schismatic belief, and apostasy. Now, is that the correct thing? It's kind of like an Old Testament thing to do. What their shout was, rather the turban of the Sultan than the mitre of the Pope, because the Sultans didn't interfere with theology. They may kill them by the millions, but they die with their theology pure, uncorrupted by, purgatory, the merit box of the saints, all the other garbage that came along in the Papal West. So it was not a pagan thing at the beginning. Actually, Constantine and the Pope, or the Bishop of Rome at the time, hated each other. In fact, there is no position of Pope in the early times. If you read the Church Fathers, you see Clement of Rome talking about a group of elders. Or no, it's Ignatius of Antioch talking about a group of elders, and Clement talking about a group of elders. Ignatius of Antioch speaking about bishops of Rome. And we don't see any consolidation until Irenaeus, who reacts hostilely to the Pope, and then we get Tertullian, who ascribes these insults, basically calling the Bishop of Rome pagan by calling him Pontifex Maximus and Bishop of Bishops. So these were insults that later medieval or early Renaissance papal propagandists applied to him, thinking that they were, exaltatory terms. So no, you got it wrong and backwards. You should learn your history. It's much easier to attack the papacy when you know what you're talking about. Maybe you listen to James White, even though he's a Calvinist. He does a good job at dismantling the papacy. And as for the East being Roman Catholics without a Pope, it's ridiculous. Should probably learn what the Council of Nicaea was about, what the Nicene Creed teaches, or the Nicene Constantinopolitan Creed teaches, and what the martyrs for the first 300 years died for, shed their blood for. What about the martyr Felicity, the martyr Perpetua, the martyr Saturninus? What did they die for? I mean, what's blasphemous or heretical in the writings of Ignatius of Antioch or Irenaeus of Lyon? What? Irenaeus Tertullian, who eventually became a Montanist, and Cyprian of Carthage, both, or all three of them, told the Bishop of Rome to buzz off. When I say Peter was the first Pope of Rome, he was the first Bishop of Rome, the first Patriarch. The term Pope wasn't used until much later, and it was first used in Alexandria, and it was imported to Rome. So, yeah. What's your response to that?